Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone or anytime you are coming across this wonderful platform, Linda's TV show. If it is your first time and you like what we are doing here, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you will be able to know when we upload a new video. What do we do here? We react to all forms of videos. We inform, educate the members of the public about what is happening in the globe, because information, they say, is what? Power. I want to appreciate YouTube for creating this wonderful platform that we are using to pass this information across. At the same time, I put a disclaimer that here in Linda's TV show, all the content is here. Do not in any way intend to preach hate speech, misleading information, violent or instigating war. I don't like war, so I do not promote. I don't like misleading information. I do not promote. I do not like violence. I will never promote it. YouTube, take note of this. So my great
of Igbo coming together. This is a question you must ask. Now, when you look at Nigeria as a country, I want to start my narration from the north. When you go to the north, I will tell you, I'm not talking about dialect. I'm talking about language. Fulani, they speak Fufude as a language. Hausa, they speak their own. TVs, they speak their own. And within the Fulanis, they have their own dialect. Within the Fufude, they have their own dialect. Within the Hausas, they have their own dialect. Within the TVs, they have their own dialect. Because TV is standing as a language. Hausa is standing as a language. And within that Hausa, they have their own dialect because they are not of the same stock, but they are one larger family when they have to do with the Hausa. But as you stand today, in Nigeria, both the Fulanis, both the TVs, both the Hausas are being recognized or seen as Hausas. All the states you see in the northern part of the country, all of them are being seen as Hausas, and they are not in any way fighting it. They unite themselves politically. They work, they fight to put their house in order politically. What you do for me this morning is help me and share this video to reach our audience. And for a very long time now, I've not been showcasing on a live video because I have other things that I'm doing in line with our unification of Igbo in general. But one thing you must understand is that we are working to bring our home together. Those who are crying, those who are fighting, those who are not okay with the move or with the call for Igbo to come together are solely enemies of Igbo. And we should ask them, why are you being pissed off by the call of the Igbo unity? Why are you being troubled by the call of Igbo unity? When we say let Igbo, all the Igbo families come together, why are you being troubled? Why are you being troubled? This is a question we need answer from you. Tell us the reason why you are not okay with the call of Igbo coming together as one big family. Now, when you look at the North today, the advantage they have today politically and governmentally is because they have been able to put themselves together as one big family, irrespective of their differences. The case of the Northerners is even more far than our own case because we are closer than each other, than the Northerners are closer than themselves. Because when a Hausa man is speaking an Hausa man, TV man who have not lived within the Hausas cannot understand the Hausa language. When TV man is speaking, a Hausa man who have not lived within the TV environment cannot understand what they are saying. The same thing implied to the Fulanis who their language is Fufude. But yet, they believe that they are all Hausas because they have integrated themselves together for a purpose, for a goal. What is that goal and what is that purpose? To be relevant in politics and to also to be relevant in governance. This is the reason why the Northerners has been able to put their hearts together. And today, many of us who are not from that region, Northerners see ourselves as people who are being marginalized by the Northerners. The only thing I see to be the marginalization there is because they are in agreement and we are not in agreement. And that is why somebody like me, I am taking it upon myself, giving it everything I have to make sure that we put our house together so that we can equate our rivals. Now, when you look at those who are fighting us, okay, let me take it. I don't want to go to other people. I'm from a Kalan. Every of our brothers and our sisters who are fighting this unity cause, they are fighting it out of ignorance. Because if they actually have understanding to what I am saying in regard to the unity of Igbo, they will not in any way stand to fight the cause of our unity. Any man you see from Ikwere, any man you see from Ogba Eche, any man you see from Kwale, Aniocha, Aneka, who is not in agreement, with the core of the unity of Igbo, understanding that that person is doing that out of ignorance. Because if you understand how Nigeria is formatted and how Nigeria is functioning, you understand that the reason why we see ourselves as those who are being marginalized today is because of this unity that is within us. When we put our house together and we begin to work to unify ourselves, you will agree with me for sure that we will not be marginalized anymore. For today, Ukwali that is found within the Delta State, Anyocha that is found within the Delta State, Eka that is found within the Delta State. This is three families who ought to unify themselves with the word Anyoma. They are not seeing themselves as one because Ukwali is dancing to left, Eka is dancing to right. Why Anyocha is remaining at the middle, not holding themselves together? These are people who find themselves within at the same states. I'm not talking about the Anambra or Imo now. I'm not talking about the Ikwere today now. I am talking about those who are found within the Delta as a space. There is no agreement politically and otherwise. And this has made us not to, be that relevant that we wish to be in political terrain, in government environment. So the call for the unity of NNAMDI is a call to place us in a place where we'll be relevant politically and governmentally. It doesn't really matter how you are fighting or how you are fighting the call to unify Igbo. You are fighting it out of ignorance, because if you actually have an understanding to the reason why somebody like me is on this lane, you will not do anything other than to make sure you join hands with me to bring the whole family together. Because let me tell you something. Have you ever studied the federal character as it is, the way it functions today in Nigeria? Are you aware that every, Are you aware that every budget that is made today in Nigeria, federal, that there is a provision for agriculture? Are you aware there is a provision for education? There are provisions for so many things that have to do with region and state and whatsoever. Let me ask you, what are your benefits? We can only fight to get our inclusiveness when we are together. That will only amplify our voice. When we come together as one, it will help to amplify our voice. When I mean amplifying our voice, it will give us a louder voice that men and women who are at that upper chamber will see us as people who need to be attended to. I visited National Assembly last week with my people. The reason why we were there is to fight for our inclusiveness. Most of you see what I'm doing as though that I'm creating a content on the social media. Most of you saw me with Senator Ned Nwoko while we visited him with some of the copies of the case we are making with the federal government, as though I am making a kind of content. That is to your belief. You are believing so because you are daft. You are believing so because you are ignorant of what is happening in the space of Nigeria. If you are not ignorant of it, I tell you for sure that you will not fight this movement of unity of Igbo. Are you from Ikwere? Are you among us, our brothers and sisters who were seeded into Kogi as a state, who were seeded into what is it called, Benue as a state? Are you among our brothers who were seeded into Edo State? Because the only problem I have with Edo people is because I am calling those who were seeded into Edo State my people, who are the Iwake. That is the only problem. I have no reason and I have no business talking about the Bini people. The only business I have is that I'm talking about my people who were taken into Edo State. And at the point of saying that, I'm also trying to put straight some of the false information that has been going up and down, who that said that Ika people are actually from Benin. We are not. That is not what I am here to say this morning. But you know, when you are making an illustration, there are some facts and points you cannot escape. Looking at it today, governmentally, when you look at the quota system, look at how it favors you as Onyeka. Look at how it favors you as Onyekwane. Look at how it favors you as Onya Aneocha. Now, we now take it upper. Look at how it favors you as Oyomambara, Ikwere, and Eche, and so on. Look at the educational system. Look at the cutoff mark when you are writing JAMB to gain admission into a higher institution. JAMB and WAEC and NECO. Look at the quota system. Look at everything. How Nigeria, what is it called? Cake is being shared. You agree with me that it is that division that we have allowed to stay wrong within us that has brought us to that point where we are now crying foul that we are being marginalized. The marginalization that you and I are suffering today as a people, it is as a result of it is as a result of what does I say? A result of acceptance of that division that is within us. If we have not accepted that division among us, we won't be crying foul today that we are being marginalized. Because when we come together, our voice, our effort, our agreement will be amplified. The only thing that is giving room to that marginalization in our life today, it is that division that we have allowed to spread among us. That Okwane is not in agreement with Onya Aneocha. That Onya Aneocha is not in agreement with Onyeka. Are you getting me? That Onyeka is not in agreement with Onya Aneocha. Do you know why? These are divisions that is making us to cry that marginalization that we are crying because we are not in agreement. You cannot say that Nigeria is cheating me while you are the one cheating yourself. There are so many things we stand to achieve coming together as one big family. And there are things that we cannot achieve because we are unable. For instance, when it comes to the time of election, when it comes to the time to elect presidency or whatsoever, look at it. Our past president, you will agree with me that Tinubu did not even disturb himself coming to Southeast to campaign for his election. I will tell you why. You will see, look at it, that Buhari did not come to the Southeast, visit Southeast for his campaign, for his election during his own time. I will tell you the reason why those things are like that. You will see that he visited almost all the states in the Southwest. They were busy gallivanting on the soil of the northern part of the country. Do you know why? When you come to the north, they believe that the vote that will be coming to the north will be huge because they see those people as people who are what? In agreement with themselves. And when it comes to the Southeast, they see us as a people who are divided. In so doing, our vote is divided. In so doing, our voice are divided. So these are one of the reasons why they don't take us serious. These are the reasons why they don't take us serious. So it is our how will I put it? It is our negligence to some of these errors that is making us to feel that marginalization that we are crying about. When we are able to put our house together and they see that we are united, every man or woman coming for number one position in Nigeria will take us serious, because they know that we are in agreement with ourselves. They know we are together with ourselves, and they know that when they come to vote, we will come together for ourselves. When it's time to elect, it is only governorship election that had to do with our state that you see politics being played within our land. When it is politics of federal, when it had to do with presidency, they don't take the South and Southeast serious. I am telling it to you. The reason why they don't take us serious is that they believe so there that any vote that is coming from our end will not come in bulk. Number one, because we are divided. So what will they do? They use our brothers and our sisters who are with them to play that politics of division more. To play that politics of division more. And that is why you see what is happening around us. So when we begin to call for the unity of Igbo, we know what we have seen. We know what our research has given to us. So those of you who are from Ekaland, those of you who are from Anocha, who are from Okwani, who your mind is telling you about who is senior. Now you have agreed that Okwani is part of Igbo. But what is your problem now is that for us to agree that Igbo actually came from Okwani is unfounded whatsoever. I am not on this journey to tell you who is elder or who is not elder. But I'm on this journey to prove to you that we are one big family. I am on this journey to put it to you that we are one big family. Yes, my brother, I made comment on Herbert Mwigwe. You can, the question, I just want to answer you this question. I made comment, you can screw my post and see the little comment I made. The reason why I did not go further to discuss about his death is because he's going to be a medicine after that, because we did not talk about him while he was alive. But I made few posts about him. So that is by the way. I know our post, we prepared Ohanes and Igbo to do what they did by visiting the family. So I don't want to go there. That is not what I'm discussing now. Now, when you look at it, today, our agreement coming together as one big family will give us that, it will give us a very big opportunity to rewrite whatsoever error that has been made by our elders or our past leaders. So let us come together as one big family. Ika remain one out of many in Igbo land. Somebody said to me, why must it be Igbo? Now we are talking about NNAMDI. We are talking about the people that share same value system. We are talking about the people whom their spiritual background is one. We are talking about the people who share same cultural heritage. We are talking about the people whom their ancestors are one. If you have studied the movement, the migration method, how our people migrate vice versa, you will agree with me that we are one family. You look at our language formation, despite your dialect, you discover those whom you are connected with. You discover those whom you are connected with. So I am here this morning to tell you, those who are not okay with the call of the unity of Igbo, what is the problem? Why are you fighting the call? Has the call stood on your way of success, if you don't want Igbo to unite, you want us to remain divided, it simply means you are part of those who have been benefited from our division. It simply means you are part of those who are actually benefiting from the division of Igbo. When you are not ready, when you don't want Igbo to come together as one family, it simply means you are among those who are actually fighting. It simply means you are among those who are benefiting from what? Igbo's division. Are you understanding? So I actually want to let people know that whether you like it or not, we are one big family. Nobody is asking an Ikwere man to leave his geographical location in River State to come to Anambra to become an Anambra man. No, that is not what we are preaching. Nobody is asking an Anambra man to leave his own Anambra to go to River State before he become related to Ndi Ikwere. No, you are where you are, but we are bringing this thing, some of the things that shows the similarity, some of the things that show how we are connected, some of the things that show how we are one. These are things we are bringing to us, and we are telling you the advantage, the disadvantage of our disunity, and we're also bringing to your notice the advantage of our unity. We can achieve more when we are together than when we are divided. Of course, we can achieve more when we are together than when we are divided. So when we begin to look at the position, how things are being run politically in Nigeria, the reason why other regions, the West and the North, don't take us seriously, because they actually know that we are divided, that when it comes to do, whenever it comes to do with politics, that we have nothing to offer. For real, we have nothing to offer. And that is why they don't believe on the vote that will be coming from this end, because they too believe that whatsoever vote that will be coming from this end will be divided, that we don't have one voice, that we are not united. And that is why an Ikwere person will not find it enjoying standing with P2B, and a Ika person will. But it's quite surprising that this last election we are more united than ever. Some of the things I saw on this last election, we are more united, but I still want us to do better. Let us come together as one big family so that we can form a united front that will put an end to our woes, that will put an end to some of the issues that we have been lamenting on as a marginalization. We can do better when we come together as one big family. We can do better when we allow ourselves to enjoy that which our forefathers has always enjoyed before now. Those who are not in agreement, I talk about those who are from Okwale, who are from Eka, that are not in agreement with the call of the unity of Igbo. They do so out of ignorance. They do so out of ignorance. They do so out of ignorance, because if they are not ignorant of what is happening in the space of Nigeria as a country, they will not be fighting the unification of Igbo. You will not. And can I put it to you, and I'll still say it tomorrow, whether you like it or you don't like it, Igbo has a larger number. When we talk about the population, we are not minority when it comes to do with Nigeria. We are not minority. When I mean in Igbo, I'm talking about both Ikwere, Eche, Oba. I'm talking about the Igbake. I'm talking about our people of Bolu in Kogi. I'm talking about our people in Benue, in Cross River. I'm talking about our people in Delta State. When we come together as one big family, you will understand the fact that we have been belittling ourselves without knowing it. Of course, we have accepted the minority. That is not our foundation. When you go to Lagos State today, after the indigenous owners, those who own Lagos, the next larger population you see are Igbos. I'm telling you, when you go to the Kano, you go to Abuja, you go to Benin, you go to every state in Nigeria, after the owners of the land, the next larger population you meet there are Igbos. Now, this is when you talk about, my brother said there will not be Niger, that those ones are artificial names. Those ones are artificial names. And if that should be the thing, some of the mindsets. Now, let me tell you, state as a creation or region as a creation does not define you identically, or when we talk about your identity, state does not define you. Nobody is from Anambra. Nobody is from Delta. Nobody is from Edo. Nobody is from Rivers. Because you have been before the creation of that state. So if you want to look into your foundation, if you want to look into the foundation, what are we going to look at? We look at who you are before the creation of that state. So that is where the values that we are talking about is come from. That is where we now begin to look at those values, because the values are things that make you and I who we are. Now, the name Anambra as a state, and the name Enugu as a state, or the name Delta as a state, or the name Ebonyi as a state, or the name Edo as a state, are there for an identification. Because for governance or administrative purposes, a certain geographical location was mapped out and given a nisha, and that nisha is Anambra and the nisha is River State. Now it is a nisha given to that geographical location for an identification, governmentally, administratively. So when we talked about the people, when you go to what is it called, Edo State today, there are people who are of origin of Kogi that are part of Edo State. When you cross what is it called, Auchi, and begin to see Edo as a people, there are people who are not an indigene of Benin, who are not actually from that of Oromia or whatsoever, but they are part of Edo State, and their siblings and their people are also part of Kogi. We then say because they are created into Edo State that they will not have anything to do with their siblings, there are people who are now in Kogi State? The answer is no. This is some of the mindset that we need to change. If that is the reason why you are fighting the core of Igbo coming together, I want you to change that mindset, because state creation has nothing to do with our identity. State creation has nothing to do with our identity. Now, for example, Anambra and Imo States, when you go to a place like Akokwa, a place like Oga and Akokwa has no boundary, but Oga is part of Anambra and Akokwa is Imo State. Oga and Uruala share boundary. You can walk from Oga with barefoot. You will enter Okada from backyard of Andubadam. You see yourself in Uruala, in Idato. But when you look at those people, there are some families who, by geographical whatsoever, who are same family with Andubadam, but their compound, their family compound is located in Imo State, Akokwa or Uruala. We then say because it is so that they are no more the same family with Andubadam. No, they won't say so, because this is just a mere geographical a geographical location that was seeded, created for an identification, and that is why if you call yourself a Niger Delta, you are acting out of ignorance, because Niger Delta is not your identity. Delta State is not your identity. South is not your identity. Southeast is not your identity. But it becomes identity politically and governmentally. But originally, you have been before the creation of that state. So when we begin to call people, said, okay, let us come, irrespective of the state where we find ourselves, we still need to work together as one family. Now let us begin to unify ourselves by values, by culture, by tradition, by language. These are some of the sin factors that shows you that we are one big family. And you cannot deny the fact that we that are from Eka, that we share same values with the people who find themselves in Anambra. Traditionally and culturally, we share values with people who find themselves in Isukwato. Now, when we now begin to look at ancestrally, like that will now take us to a pattern of migration that gives birth to so many communities, that recreates some names of communities that in Delta State we have Obolo, in Imo State we have Obolo, in Delta State we have Obolo, in Anambra we have Obolo, in Delta State in my community we have Oduga, in Okuzu we have Oduga, in Delta State we have Abo, we go to Enugu we have Abo. We have different communities. Now these names are not coincidence. These are our founding fathers who took up a journey looking for a fertile and a greenish place to live, and they begin to widen their reach. These are how we are procreated. After God created man, man began his procreation. It is by childbearing that expanded humanity to the number you see today. So during the times and days of our forefathers, there were not many the way we are today. But they splitted themselves in different corners. They began to procreate. And one thing that holds us together is that language, the values. We talk about our traditional values. We talk about our cultural values. You can't deny the fact that we share same thing. So when we begin to call, irrespective of the state, let us have this understanding that we are one. It will help us. It will help us to actually get a better part of us together for a better exploit. So before the state creation, our forefathers actually have what is called, for some of you who ask what did they achieve during their time, they achieved a lot of things. They started creating communities in their own within their own ability. Within their own ability. And that is where you now see Idumu, you now see Obe. So it is out of that Idumu and Obe that government now borrowed what is called states. And when you look at some of the Insana and the Iwana that was constitutionalized by our forefathers, the law of the land, that is also the place that our government today learned what is called law, because our forefathers has the law to themselves initially before the governmental law. So our forefathers in their own time, they did marvelously according to their realm, the realm they were operating then. So let us begin to look at those factors that shows how connected we are to ourselves. I was at Abumba the other day. I went to visit Ned. Because of time, he asked me to join his convoy. I and Almighty. We visited 3 communities. We were at Ukunsu that day. We were at Abumba. We were at Igbo that day. Which we are still going to be going by, because a lot of things actually happened. You know, at that point of those visitations, we were able to extract some interview. You had them that Abumba said that they took their journey from Ogidi. They said their ancestors, which is Anagba is from Ogidi, that they were all together Ezechimato. And that is why when we begin to look at that factor, that story of Ezechima, that some of you are claiming to be from Benin, you will fail, because a lot of factors has come up. And what makes me to believe that of Anambra story is that they link their story to Obio that you found within the Anocha in Delta State. And Obio share boundary with Owerolobo in Delta State. Owerolobo share boundary with Akumazi Umuocha. And Owerolobo also share boundary with Utoboje. Owerolobo also share boundary with Igbodo, Ilabo, and Obio share boundary with Igbodo, and Igbodo also share boundary with Onichubu, and so on and so forth. Now, they said Anambra is ancestor who traveled from Ogidi. They went to Benin. They said they left Benin, which is Idu, when trouble broke out, because all the people that traveled to Benin went there for business, just as the way we are traveling to Lagos today, going to Benin, going to so many places to seek for greener pasture. Now, when there is trouble in Kaduna, all the non-indigenous in Kaduna had to flee because of their life, and that was what actually happened to most of our ancestors who left Benin and begin to found some of these communities you see today, like Onichubo, like Abumba, like Obio, like so on and so forth. Now, at some point in time, we live with you people, we live in Lagos. That if I live in Lagos today for 100 years, and I born all my children, I gave birth to all my children in Lagos State, I live in 100 years, and at a time I decided to leave Lagos State, that will not make me an indigenous of Lagos State. I just live there. So this is the story of how most of those communities were founded. I was in Owoibo. The Odogu of Owoibo also told me that the throne that he's sitting on now was actually established by Eri. He likened that throne as well, that there is also Eda, a place called Eda, that Eri. And that when we begin to talk about story, that also take us to Ayangba, that Kogiga that is making unfounded stories. So we call our people to come together. It will help us to achieve a lot. Now today, I am making a case on a National Assembly, which a shorter period, the campaign of what we went for National Assembly will began. You will see it on radio station, local radio station, you see it on television, you see it on social media. I am telling the truth. Most of you who wish I played the voice audio of my discussion with Ned, the reason why I decided to mute it is that we are still coming. You will still see me with a lot of legislators, because I am making a very serious case. As far as Nigeria is concerned, I am making a very serious case. I will be returning to Abuja to drop my document with the Senate, and at the same time I will be meeting with some of our senators and House of Assembly, the Deputy Speaker of House, where within a shorter time we are going to meet with him to discuss the points we have at hand. We can't remain the way we are. Nothing work until somebody gets it working. Yes, of course, when we talk about the original empire, which is Idu is not actually Yoruba people. I don't want to go there. Every day I want to discuss about that, the original owners of that land. I will tell you, when we talk about the Benin today, or the oldest tribe in Edo State today are the Isha people. Isha. So I don't want to go there now. Now we have a lot of things that we are actually working out for, and that has been the reason why I have not been on a social media like I used to be, having my video and all that all the time. No, there are so many things that are taking much of my time as well. Yesterday, I am not with Almighty. We were at Ologwasi yesterday. There is no day in a week we don't travel like twice. A lot of things are happening behind the camera. So to some of you who are feeling maybe these guys are weak, no, we are not. We are not. There is no way we can be weak. A lot of things is happening around us, and we are doing it better. We are doing it better. So all what we need from you is your support. And I want to use this medium to plead to you guys. If you are a good follower of what we are doing, we want to reach to as many, because the message we are preaching is not for few. So when you come on board, it takes you nothing to put your hand on your share button, share the program, let it go to the places it need to get to. Let people hear us. Share the program. Gossip the program. Gossip it. You know, post it in different platforms. There are a lot of our people who are still in ignorance. They need to hear us to begin to ask questions. They need to hear our message to begin to ask questions. So, before I end the video this morning, those who are fighting our unity, they are fighting it because they are benefiting from our disunity. Yes, of course. Those who are fighting our unity are doing so because they are what? Benefiting from our disunity. I mean it. They are benefiting from what? From our disunity. And that is why they are fighting it. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Yes, welcome back, my people. If you are just joining us, my name remains Oyewamadu Kainebi, and Oyewamadu Kainebi is from Akumazu Mocha, and Akumazu Mocha is located in the Kano East local government area of Delta State. The reason why I am on this mission is to see Igbo come together. Listen and listen carefully. For those of you who are ignorant of the move we are making, calling Igbo land grabbers, there is no way, in as much as we are calling for the unity of Igbo, that Anambra man will come to Delta State to come and claim land, except he or she bought the land. Now, we are not calling in the Anambra to come and take over Delta. Neither are we calling in the Delta to come and take Anambra. But we are calling for this unity of Igbo at large. The unity of Igbo at large. Let us come together as one big family. Now we will command our respect in the space of Nigeria. We will command our respect in political space. We will command our respect in governance. How did I mean? The reason why the Northerners seems to be the one making decision when it comes to the governance in Nigeria is because of their unity. We look at our educational system, we are more educated than them. We look at those who traveled and other, we are more than them. But why is it that those we feel that they are less of us are the one taking decision about what is happening in Nigeria system? The truth is that what is giving them that upper hand is because they are united. There is one thing disunity do to a people. Disunity will always reduce you to nothing. A family that is divided can never make a headway, but a family that is together will always be an envy of other family. And that is why Hausas are standing tall today in Nigeria government and political corridor, because they are together. Irrespective of their differences, a senator in Kogi will always see a senator in Bedwe as his brother. A House of Assembly member in Kogi will always respect the opinion of a senator in Bono, because they believe they are working for one purpose. Now, when we begin to do so, our rights, our respect, our ego, and our position will be restored. And that is why I'm on this mission, calling on Igbo to come together as one big family. Those who are sponsoring the division about among Igbo, they are doing so because they know that when Igbo come together as one family, that things will change as far as political corridor is Nigeria is concerned, as far as governmental corridor is concerned in Nigeria. And they are doing so because they don't want us to stand to do things which they know that we can do. It is only us in the history of Africa that we stand the Western for 33 years. Even the Britain are afraid of Igbo. So they make sure they keep us perpetually divided because they know that when we come together, so when we begin to call, let us come together, and you are telling me you are a professor of Okwa, you want to develop Okwane language. Let that, when you are developing that language to be Okwane language, one name, what you are speaking today shouldn't be what you develop, because if it is all about what you are speaking today as a language, you are still developing it, you are still writing Igbo language, but a dialect that is in Igbo, making it a language, you are deceiving yourself. Just as some people are doing in a car land, that developing a car language, there's nothing like a car language. I won't take it. You may say that I've been bought. Yes, I've been bought. You can see, but one thing is that let us take ego and pride aside and begin to face reality. Until we begin to embrace the truth, nothing will change. Let us take pride and ego aside and begin to embrace reality. One of the facts is that we are the one holding ourselves hostage, not the Northerners, not the Westerners. We are the one holding ourselves hostage.
Hello, my wonderful people. As we have finished watching this interesting video, please, I want to see your comment, your contribution, your opinion in the comment section. Like I said earlier, let us do it constructively. Tell me what you think about this video that you have just watched, and also about the platform. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please remember to subscribe, put on your notification bell, share this video, and remain blessed.